What's going on, everybody? Live in the BR app. Welcome to another episode of Cleats and Convos with Deebo Samuel. I'm Liv Moods. This is presented by State Farm.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Bang. Deebo, how are you feeling?
I'm cooling.
Cooling. Okay, let's break that down a little bit. Tough loss this weekend. How are you feeling? You chose not to speak to the media after the game, which I'm sure there were a lot of emotions there. You've had some time to reflect since then. How are you feeling? Is there anything that you want to say today?
Yeah. Normally, after the games or whatever, if you're obligated to speak to the media, they will approach you. Wasn't approached after I got dressed. So, therefore, I just, headed out of the locker room zone, kind of know where that narrative came from.
Love it. Squash it.
So, yeah, it's just a lot of stuff to, reflect on this year, just, with us being 5-6, not having the season that we want to have for sure. But at the end of the day, we still kind of right where we want to be. I think we win the next two games against division opponents, we'll be right at the top. But, yeah, see a lot of fans saying, Deebo production is, a little off. Mm-hmm. But when the opportunity presents itself, you can't show me where I haven't showed up, I always said, control the things that you can control and, just move on from there. But, we just continue, continue to go on. And
keep pushing?
Yeah, for sure.
Keep doing what you do. Yeah, there's a lot of people. I mean, obviously, I know fans, that's been a part of your journey, their opinions, their feelings about your performance or whatever. But there's a lot of outside noise. I saw you went back and forth a little bit with T.O. on social media. He had some things to say. He feels like you care more about your game day outfits than you do the game.
Yeah, I talked to me and T.O. had a phone call after that as well. Talking to him, it was just what he called it, cheeks and giggles. He was like, he said he made a joke out of it, but the media blew it out of proportion. And I kind of understood where he came from, because a lot of stuff that, us athletes say or other people say, they kind of take a little glimpse of things that we say and try to flip it. But me and T.O., we had a conversation. It was cool. He was cool about it. I was cool about it. There wasn't no issue there. So, at the end of the day, we cool for sure.
Did you get to talk to him a little bit about some of your, just about the season and some of your frustrations? Obviously, you don't have to tell us what you talked about, but
a little bit.
He may understand some of that to an extent.
A little bit, but not too much. He stated that, he don't watch too much, a lot of ball like he used to. So he kind of catch it here and there. So he was just like, man, we still have, all the tools to flip stuff around, and, we still right where we want to be. He actually called me this morning, and we talked it a little bit as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that doesn't make the headlines. Nobody knows that you guys already squashed it.
Yeah, we cool.
I love it.
It ain't for everybody to know. It ain't gonna change nothing.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. There's conversations about people feeling like you're not a leader this year. You need the C taken off of your chest. What's your response to that?
I don't know. It's kind of crazy, because at the end of the day, we hold each other, as in my teammates and myself and Kyle and John and Jed and the other owners, the part of the team. We hold ourselves to a higher standard than what people hold us to. So at the end of the day, a lot of people kind of reflect to, taking the C off my chest because of, me having that altercation with my long snapper. But at the end of the day, I went to my kicker and told him that he needed to lock in, and, we needed him to win this game, and it turned into something that it should have never been. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't have never led to that for sure. But at the end of the day, in order for me to have the C on my chest, it's not. I don't think it's too much of a coach's decision. The people above Cal, I think it's a player voted thing, because we do that as a group. So if my peers and everybody around me feel like that I deserve to have the C on my chest, then I'm gonna wear it with pride. And I take pride in that for sure. And at the end of the day, like I stated, I control the things that I control. It's been a little frustrating for sure, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna still go out here. I'm gonna do my job, and when the opportunity presents itself, I'm there.
Absolutely. There is conversation, and obviously any time you have a team that's not really getting wins the way that they should be, we automatically go to the coach. And there's a lot of people that feel like Kyle Shanahan is in the hot seat right now. Do you agree with that?
I don't think so. Kind of since I've been here, I don't think we had nothing but one losing season, and I think that was COVID. And you can sit back and you can harp on, everybody being injured. That year I had a broke foot. I think Jawan Jennings was out that whole year with he pulled his hamstring off the bone. I think Trent was out.
Oh.
Jimmy Garoppolo, like we can harp on like injuries, but at the end of the day, that's a part of the game.
Of course.
But other than that, you can't show me a losing season that he's had since I've been here. First year Super Bowl, second year, COVID hit. Year after that, NFC Championship. Year after that, NFC Championship again. Last year Super Bowl. So it's like, why are you saying he in the hot seat? At the end of the day, we 5-6 right now, but we got like 6-7 games ahead. And at the end of the day, like, Kyle is one of the smartest, most player, you like those player coaches that, people could ask for.
Yeah.
And so I don't kind of get into, he in the hot seat, he this, he that. But at the end of the day, like, you can't show me a season where, he had a losing season, well, since I've been in the league. And, I just look at it from, me going in the building every day. Just see his approach to the game, even though, like, we kind of behind the 8 ball right now, but he don't look at it that way. He's
right.
like, if he can start it all over again, this is where he'll want to be.
Yeah. It's I don't think that your guys' season is a reflection of him doing anything differently necessarily. Do you think that that's an overall problem in the league, that the turnover rate of coaches is way too high? Like, we're way too quick to let go of, we've seen it even happen this season. Coaches being let go when they're not winning games, or the season isn't as successful as they thought it was going to be. Do you feel like we do that too often in the NFL?
Kind of, but I don't kind of look around the league, or
you're focused.
See what other teams got going on.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, we can only control like what's in our building, not what's going on somewhere else. But I think it kind of shows what type of coach Kyle is, from the higher ups to him. Because at the end of the day, like you say, like, you got a lot of coaches switching here and there. Like, I've been here 6 years, and it ain't been a conversation about, guys, maybe I won't be here, or this is that and the third. Because at the end of the day, I feel like John and Jed know what kind of coach they have, and the kind of culture that they built here for us, the team. So I feel like, I don't really look into like what's going on around the league or whatever, but we can just look at us and just worry about what we got going on.
Fair enough. Okay, your guy Kean Nixon, he couldn't wait to talk about the game. What's your response to what he had to say? I think we might have the tweet that we can throw up there.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I said. Me and Kean, we've been real close since college. We still chop it up to this day. We hang out a lot when we get a chance, but at the end of the day, it's no excuse.
Yeah.
Like, injuries is part of this league. Kind of like what he related to. Kind of piggyback off what he said. He lost his quarterback early on a couple of games, and they won games.
Yep.
And I can kind of relate to that, because I remember when Trey Lance went down, I think it was 22. And Jimmy had to come in. We were still winning games. And then Jimmy went down after that. Then Brock came in, and we win a game. So it's just like, you can't sit back and be like, yo, we didn't have this person, we didn't have that person. Like, you still got to figure out ways to win the game. And
what has it been like preparing without Brock Purdy? Because again, I think he faces a lot of scrutiny himself, and he's got a lot of pressure from the public eye, I guess you could say. But you guys know who you have in Brock Purdy, and how has it been trying to adapt without him?
We really had to adapt in like a day or so. It's kind of different for sure. The cadence different, the voice in the huddle. It teaches you that you have to be more on your job rather than leaning on the quarterback to know, because he's just been thrown in the fire, even though they're supposed to know what's going on. But at the end of the day, you have to be a man and, kind of like own your own responsibilities. But at the end of the day, like, you just got to take advantage of the opportunity that you have. It's just a little different for us, like the cadence and the voice in the huddle. And, when you hear Brock's voice, it's just like a different. And then you come in the huddle, you hear BA. It's just like two totally different people for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you know his importance. I think there's still people out there that believe Brock Purdy is a product of the system and maybe isn't the system himself. But I think you guys know his importance. That being said, do you feel like this team is capable of winning without Brock Purdy? Let's say we don't see Brock Purdy for a couple more weeks. I don't know. But if that were to be the case, would you be able to win without him?
Yeah. We can win any game, for sure. But, we don't want to be without the quarterback that,
Of course.
that's been on this long run with us for sure. But at the end of the day, that's just what comes with the game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But for sure, I think we can stack wins. If we got to do it without, we capable for sure.
There's a lot of talent on that team.
There's still a lot of talent out there.
Absolutely. Okay, let's get to your State Farm bundle of the week. First, Saquon Barkley. How you feeling about Saquon Barkley right now? 25 carries, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns. Is there a case for Saquon Barkley for MVP? I know it's typically a quarterback award. I mean, we see that more often than not, but is he making a case for himself this year?
Yeah, he's making a case for sure. But one thing I like about Saquon, like just getting to know him last summer, 2 summers ago, training with him. He's not a selfish person. As you can see, like after the game, I get on Twitter and just scroll sometimes, and you see him like talk about his offensive line. Mm-hmm. He's not more of a person to be like, yo, I did this, I did that. First thing he did was, congratulate his offensive line, because at the end of the day, that's where it starts. Mm-hmm. But 25 carries, 255, 2 tugs, like that's a hell of a day.
So he needs 118.8 yards per game to break Eric Dickerson's all-time single-season rushing record. Can he do it this year?
I think he's capable. With how well they playing, how well they running the ball, and how balanced they is on offense, I think he's pretty capable for sure.
Okay, I know this is a tough question because they're both great in their respective ways. We've got the Eagles taking on the Ravens this weekend. Saquon, Derrick Henry. Who do you think has a better performance in that game?
I like them both, for sure.
I don't know how you pick in that situation. Truly,
I'm gonna rock with Say on this one for sure.
Okay,
I'm gonna rock with Say.
Yeah, he's having a great year. What do you think it says about the running back position that the top 5 ranked running backs this season were all free agents? Does that not seem kind of crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy for,
I mean, that's crazy.
I don't really speak on like other organizations and just that isn't third, but I think that wasn't too smart of a move to let Saquon go to a team that's, already stacked on the defensive line, and, they back end is playing very well this year.
They've got your boy A.J. Brown over there.
Their offensive line has always been good. It's just like, why would you give them up to a team like that, and then you got to play them twice a year?
Not smart. Not smart at all. He's having a great year. Would you say because this has been a conversation for some time, do you think the value of the running back is back? Like, are these free agent players that are balling out proving that these running backs need to be valued more? I think it's hard for maybe it's hard for you to speak on that because you're on a team that does value the running. You know what I mean?
I think we got the highest paid running back in the league. By a long shot, but it's kind of hard for me to speak on what everybody else got going on. But I mean, we value everybody we have here, and it's it'd be nice to see spread the wealth around the league a little bit. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, let's get to the second little bundle, second part of your State Farm bundle of the week. Jordan Addison, 8 catches, 162 yards, 1 touchdown. Does Minnesota have another star wide receiver on their hands?
Yeah, for sure. With the guy JJ over there, he calls a lot of attention, and he needs somebody to come up and help him. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he got goals of his own and goals of a team to play in the Super Bowl. So it's always good to have that guy on the other side of the football field that draw a little attention. But I kind of think I seen a little bit of his interview. He's like, you either let JJ go off or you let the other guys go off. And at the end of the day, that's just like a selfless player for sure. And, whatever it takes to win a game, I feel like he's all for it.
Yeah, I love that. You guys, your team got to see Minnesota in action early this season when they were just kind of on a heater and showing that they were a force to be reckoned with. How difficult does Minnesota become, to your point, exactly what he just said, if you can't stop both of them?
I don't know. I feel like the sky's the limit for them. A great running back. We got 2 good receivers. You got a great tight end, and you know Sam Darnold is taking advantage of every opportunity he got for us. You know, he was over here last year, and we always knew that. You know, he was a smart guy, strong arm, made good decisions. So I feel like they got all the tools to do the things they want to do.
Yeah, I agree. And Justin Jefferson is still him.
Yep.
He still brings an element to this game that's pretty impressive to watch. The Bears haven't won a game since the Hail Mary against Washington. Do you think a play / a moment like that can shift a season? Did you get a chance to watch that Hail Mary?
I watched the Hail Mary. I think the dude was standing on the backside of just like celebration or something.
He was chirping the fans a little bit.
Yeah, and then he scored. But I don't know. I really don't know too much.
Yeah, that's a tough one because I think there might be a million other things going on with the Bears that are contributing to how they're doing right now. But let's talk a little bit about the NFC North standings. What does it say about the division that 3 teams are fighting for the 1 seed this late in the season? Still pretty competitive outside of the Bears.
No, it's definitely competitive for sure. With those 3 teams at the top of the list, 1, 2, and 3. They all playing well. Especially Detroit. They hot right now. I think they won like 8 in a row. I think we played the Vikings early on. Kudos to their defense for sure, but you can't forget the players that they have on offense.
Right.
With the Packers, they got that young quarterback, but he's playing out of the world, and he's complemented by Jaden Reed and Josh Jacobs and all the other guys. Josh has been a stud in the league since he came in the league. So, you just see what happens.
Love it. Okay, let's get to some storylines. Week 12 storylines here. Did you see Kevontae Turpin, former Frog, by the way? Put him up. Let's go, Frogs. Sorry, had to do that. Kevontae Turpin's 99-yard touchdown return against the Commanders. Here's a little graphic.
I caught a snippet of that. He muffed the ball. And I don't really play Madden, but I feel like you press R1 circle on Madden, you get that type of spin move. But once it's off to the races with this guy, you can go and cancel
He's
it.
fast. Yeah, he's fast. Talk me through the moment. Your moment. You had an 87-yard return against the Packers, called back. What I had noticed in that moment was I felt like you were put in a position to change the momentum in that game. You did that, and then it didn't count. How did that feel for you?
In a moment, we needed to play.
And you made it happen.
Kyle told me to go back there on kick return, so I went back there on kick return and, made a play. But the holding call was a crazy call. We watched it 1,000,001 times, and the guy didn't even attempt to make the tackle. I think our tight end did an amazing job with the block that he had. But that's a big momentum shift, because if you go back to 2021, Cal did the same thing. We played him in the playoffs. So he told me to go back and return right after the half, and we have a big return, and then it just shifted the whole momentum of the game. So at that point, whether we get a touchdown or a field goal, we're looking at 10-17, 14-17, and at the end of the day, that give our defense momentum to go out there and get a stop, which without us even scoring, I think they went a 3-and-out that drive, and then we got the ball back, and just whatever happened.
Yeah, it's tough. Again, I think you were put in that position to turn the game around, and you did that. So I can imagine that's pretty frustrating. And it's not the first time something's been called back. I watch, I keep up. I'm a Deebo fan, so I can imagine that there's some frustration there. Not that it's directed at any person in particular, but just frustrating as a whole.
Yeah. That one wasn't too frustrating, because you look at it, it's just like, all right, now I don't agree with the call.
Right, and that's out of your control.
Yeah, it's out of my control.
Yeah.
And he came up to me yesterday, man, and when we was in the locker room and we was in the weight room lifting, he was like, man, I apologize. I was like, bro, if it was a problem, bro, we would have figured it out. But I was like, bro, you ain't do anything wrong. That was an amazing play by you to, get me going. And, at the end of the day, we can't do nothing about, what happened.
Why do you feel like you personally provide such a spark to this team?
I just feel like my physicality, my mentality of whenever, I get the ball in my hands, I'm capable of making something happen. So I think that's the spark that I kind of bring. That spark hasn't been too much there this year, so it's just kind of like whenever it comes, I just try my best to do it with the opportunity that comes.
If you were put in that position every game, could you be a Pro Bowler, kick returner?
No question.
Oh, heard it here first. I love that. Okay. I bet me too, probably. I've got a lot of speed. Pretty quick with it. Okay, moving on. Let's talk a little bit about the Giants. They lost 30-7. It was not close. On the same day that Saquon goes off, Malik Nabers had this to say after the game. He said, "It ain't the QB. We had same outcome when we had DJ at QB." Do you think he's got a point when he says that?
Hey man, I don't get in between, those lines of what them folks got going on, and the quarterback change and this is that and the third. Like at the end of the day, like you don't want to lose games, so I mean you got to figure out ways to win.
Absolutely, but do you think that's a common problem where quarterbacks are kind of put in a position to take a lot of blame when it's maybe not just on them?
Kind of.
Yeah.
You always lean on the quarterback if it's not the head coach, you go to the quarterback for sure. If you're not, scoring points or your offense don't look the way it's supposed to be, I feel like you always lean on the quarterback because he's the guy that always the first person to touch the ball and the guy to make all the decisions for sure.
We talked a little bit last week with Josh as well about wanting the ball because Malik has also expressed that he wants the ball. Can you explain the mental side of what that feels like as a receiver? Because doesn't every receiver want the ball? I mean, it's tough. So what is that? What is the mental side of that?
Man, that's a tough one. For sure. When you want the ball and you're capable of helping the team in many aspects and it ain't coming, it's just like you kind of get in that mode and be like, yo, like what is going on? Why I ain't touching the rock? Like I can help us in a way,
right?
If you know what I'm saying, just give it a shot. But I mean, that's just tough. That's tough for sure.
Do you think you've grown talking about the mental side of wanting the ball? Do you think your perspective on that has changed or grown as you've been in the league longer? Because Malik Nabers is younger. So maybe some of that is just he's going to mentally mature through some of those speed bumps.
Yeah, early on, Malik is a hell of a player.
Very good.
Yeah, he's a really good player, and I get why he's frustrated for sure. I think he said something like he was trying to give me the ball and it was like 30-0. Like I'm here to make a change. Like I it's not too much I can do if we down 30-0 and you're trying to give me the ball at that point. And it's just like, it's just like why we ain't been doing this. Like we don't have to be in this phone. Or at least even if the phone, like let me contribute and see if we not in it. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
We talked last week with Josh as well about how being benched for Anthony Richardson mentally matured him, made him a better player. We're kind of a little bit maybe seeing that with Bryce Young as well. I mean, he went toe-to-toe against this Chiefs team. He's playing really great right now. Is there an aspect of being benched that just kind of makes you go, okay, game's over? This isn't funny anymore?
I have no idea.
You know what? Pretend you've been benched for 5 seconds, all right? Just humor me. What would it feel like if you got benched?
Actually, I have been benched before in basketball.
Oh, my God. Not basketball. What'd you do? What'd you do wrong? You weren't playing defense?
No, it wasn't that. I think we had this, I forgot what his name. It was my travel AAU basketball team, and I was the point guard, and we had this dude come hoop with us for like a week. And we went to this big tournament, so we was trying to like help him get, he went to I forgot what kind of school he went to at the time. He went to a school where, he can come and coaches can still get him. I think he was like a year out of high school or something. And not lying, he was cold. He was tough. But he was only played for a week, so I really didn't have to deal with it, but nothing for the weekend. But it was like, coach was already like, all right, man, we got this guy coming. We're going to try to help him get in the league. And then when I seen him hoop, I was like, yeah, this dude different.
So sit me, put me on the
I was the
bench.
PG, he played PG, and then that what happened. So I was just.
Okay, if you had to, we're just going to play a funny little game here. If you had to compare yourself, take yourself back to your basketball days, what player in the NBA right now do you resemble most when you were playing?
Mitchell.
Oh, he didn't even have to think about it.
I'm D. Mitch for sure.
Spider?
Spider.
Okay, I love
like
that.
Back in high school, like I had to bounce.
Deebo, the basketball player.
I had the shot, kind of stocky a little bit, so kind of get to the hoop. Like, yeah, I was.
Were you good enough to like make it in basketball?
Yeah, I was cold. I just wasn't freaking 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". I was like 5'8".
So you felt like you're in a better position with football to like.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
Okay.
But if I was like 6'2", 6'3", now I'd be hooping.
We've seen a lot of different things from young quarterbacks this year. We've seen some struggle. We've talked many times on the show about the young talent and how it's just.
Are you bringing up your quarterback?
Absolutely, I am. You know what? I actually had a Broncos hoodie on this morning, and I said, I'm going to be respectful.
You know not to walk in your house with no Broncos hoodie.
Right. So I took it off. But yes, we are going to ask. I'm just going to ask a quick question here. Bo Nix. What do you think about Bo Nix right now? And be nice.
I'm going to be honest.
I'm scared.
I don't know too much about the Broncos.
Oh, you're a hater. He's a hater. You guys hear that?
I haven't been able to watch him. But I just see, people talking about how well he's playing, so I guess he's playing pretty well.
Yeah, I'll tell you how well. 2,548 yards, 16 touchdowns.
Well, that's pretty well. You're playing pretty good.
Yeah. Well, and here's the even better part. They play on Monday night this coming week, so you get to watch them with your own very eyes.
Who they playing?
The Browns. So no more excuses. When I come here next week, I'm going to ask you again about Bo Nix, and you can actually watch him and tell me how you feel.
Gotcha.
Okay, perfect.
Just watch that left end on the Browns. I mean, he's a different cat.
Prediction for that game. You think the Broncos can do it? They're on a little bit of a heater right now. He's a hater.
You know what?
An absolute hater.
I'm a root for the Broncos. I'm a root for the Broncos. I hope the Broncos win.
Me too. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Listen, I had to listen to you, give me a little bit of crap early in the season, and they flipped things around. So
yeah, they got it.
Got to get my 2 cents in.
What they record of like
7-5, I think. Yeah. But they started like rough. Okay, let's preview the Bills. It's going to be a big one. Prime time, Sunday night against the Bills. What is the mindset in the locker room going into this matchup?
We'll know the mindset tomorrow when we get in there.
What do you predict it's going to be?
Oh, it's going to be like, it's either we come together and we start playing ball the right way, or this is it.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like this is kind of like backs against the wall right now? I know you view every game that way, so I don't want to make people think that you...
Kind of, yeah. But at the end of the day, like, even if we don't win, we still can win our division. You know what I'm saying? And we still could be right there for us, making the playoffs. So, back against the wall for sure. You never want to lose the game. But, yeah, back still against the wall for sure.
What do you think your team learned I think every time a football team loses, they learn something different about themselves. What do you feel like the 49ers learned losing against the Packers?
I don't know. We just got to play. We got to play penalty free. Both sides of the ball. We can't put ourselves behind the 8 ball with penalties for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We got to rally and tackle. We got to make plays on offense on third down. We got to move the chains. We can't start the game off slow. For us, like 3 and outs, I think we went 3 and out like 3 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That's just something you can't do in a game. So it's just, kind of like leaning on each other. Offense leaning on defense leaning on special teams, and just come together as one.
We've talked about how special Josh Allen is. How do you not allow him to go ballistic in this one? Because you said, when I asked you about, I think it was the Chiefs playing the Bills, you said if you let Josh Allen go off, it's a tough. How do you go into that atmosphere in Buffalo and not allow him to cook?
You just gotta. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be windy. I think it's about 65% chance of snow. It's gonna be in the teens. This is something he used to. But at the end of the day, we gotta. Defensive line got to get home. We got to make them feel a little frustrated, a little rattled back there.
Mm-hmm.
Swarms of the ball, sticky coverage for us like the DBs, and kind of get them rattled a little bit, and then we'll just see how the game goes.
Okay, since you're Cali boy here and you've gotten used to this beautiful weather, the coldest game you've ever played in?
Packers 2021. I think it was like -4 degrees.
How pissed were you?
I had a scuba suit under my uniform. It was that cold.
Freezing.
Yeah, it was freezing.
And it's like, I mean, it's got to be tough. Your muscles aren't staying warm.
I mean, you got the heated benches. You got the jacket.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah, you know, we got.
Let me not forget that you guys they set y'all up a little bit.
Nice.
They have to, though. I mean, otherwise you'd pull a
Yeah,
hammy.
it'd be cold. I've never been to Buffalo.
Never.
Never been to Buffalo.
Oh, you're going off. I know it. I can feel it.
I've never been. Well, I can't say I've never been. Well, I technically haven't been to New York. Been once, but
Wow.
for like 18 hours maybe.
I don't know how I didn't think about that. You've never played in Buffalo.
Nah.
Are you excited?
I don't too much like the cold, but I mean, we're gonna make do what do.
But you're excited. I mean, yeah, you're excited to play them. Maybe not the what is it? 30-mile-per-hour winds.
Like
10 degrees.
That's
nice.
cold.
Nice. Okay. Well, just mentally prepare for that. We've got some chat questions. Deebo, you played on Thanksgiving last year. What is it like playing on Thanksgiving? And would you want to do that again, or do you prefer to stay home on the holidays?
Really wasn't a fan of it, to be honest with you.
You didn't love it?
But I loved it that we won. We got to eat a little turkey on the field.
You did eat some turkey on the field?
Yeah, we had a little turkey on the field in Seattle. But it was fun.
If I remember correctly, were you the player of the game that game?
I think it was Brock. No, that turkey was
How was that turkey?
It was hen. Not gonna lie.
Was it warm? I always wonder that. Do they
cold.
hand you guys cold turkey legs?
Nah, I ain't had no cold turkey leg.
Because you know what? My favorite thing at Disney World, I could F up a turkey leg. For real, for real. I'm serious. So every time the Thanksgiving game's on, I'm always a little jealous. But I have always wondered if they keep it fresh. So it is fresh.
Yeah, it's a little warm.
Okay. Well, last Thanksgiving, 7 catches, 79 yards is what you had. You don't play this year on Thanksgiving. Are you excited to hang out, family?
We chill and watch a little football.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you, at the very end, we're going to talk about your Thanksgiving plate. But for now, let's go to the second chat question here. Deebo, Clemson versus South Carolina has some major implications this week. What is your favorite Clemson-South Carolina memory when you played?
I think my last year, it was about 12. I think about 12 catches, like 223 tugs. I think that was
I mean,
one of the
that's
best
legendary.
Ones to remember, but I ain't beat them when I was in school.
Really?
Nah, I ain't beat them. But no boy now.
Yeah, who do you think that the South Carolina can get it done?
Them boy rolling.
He knows.
Them boy rolling.
Yeah, but college football's crazy.
Them boy rolling.
So you know it.
For sure.
Okay. I'm not going to ask any more questions about that.
I don't think I got no Clemson teammates.
How personal is that Clemson-South Carolina rivalry?
It depends on where you're from.
Ah, okay.
Because if you're from South Carolina and you get an offer from Clemson but don't get an offer from South Carolina, or you get an offer from South Carolina and don't get one from Clemson, you kind of in that space. So it's kind of different from, being in state to out of state. I think once you come from out of state, you just gotta deal with it, Mm-hmm. So the rivalry is crazy now.
Were you chirping?
For sure.
What's the rudest thing you ever said?
I don't know. I can't tell you that one.
Dig deep in your chirping bag and tell me the worst thing you ever said. No, I actually don't want to know. I'd like for you to just keep that between you and the rivals. But let's talk a little Thanksgiving. First and foremost, what are you thankful for this year?
Number one, my family.
Of course.
Well, number one, my son, for sure.
Of course.
But yeah, family, being able to continue to play the game I love to play, and just living life.
Yeah. Are you enjoying life? Outside of football. I know football is your life right now. But outside of football, how is Deebo as cool. Just the human?
Deebo cool as he can get.
Good. Cool. Deebo's happy.
Deebo is.
What did you say? How did you start the show? What did I ask you? And you said you were cooling?
I'm chilling, yeah.
Chilling, cooling. Okay, so that's Deebo right now. Okay, we've got Bears, Lions, Giants, Cowboys, Dolphins, Packers on Thanksgiving.
Oh, 3 games one day? You said Bears.
Lions.
Open my bad.
Bears, Lions, so that's a divisional rivalry there. I mean, one team's doing a whole lot better than the other. Giants, Cowboys, Dolphins, Packers. How do you think those are going to play out?
I like the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Giants, Cowboys, I think that's like a rivalry. Cowboys just came off a dub on the road against the Commanders.
Yeah, that was
the
crazy.
Redskins, but the Commanders.
That was a crazy game.
Dolphins, Packers.
That's a tough one, right?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Tua, after coming off IR, been playing out of this world. We just came from what they call it, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers, they playing well. So I'm looking forward to that matchup.
That'll be
Who
a
got
good
the
one.
last game?
I don't know. I'm gonna wait. Yeah, I don't know who's got the last. Dolphins, Packers is the last one.
Right, cool.
Yep. So that'll be a good one.
Yeah.
When you're nice and full. Actually, I'm not sure I'll be able to keep my eyes open that long because when I fill my stomach, oh, it's a wrap. Okay, Thanksgiving hot takes before we get out of here. What is a meal for Thanksgiving that most people love and you hate?
Most people love, but I hate.
Like it's super popular, but you're like, keep that off
I
my
need
plate.
some options because potato salad.
You don't like potato salad?
Nah, I ain't eating that.
Why not? Is it a texture thing?
I ain't eating it.
What? It's just potatoes.
Got mayonnaise in it
You don't like mayonnaise?
at all. Anything we got to do with mayonnaise, ain't eating it.
What if, like, not even on a sandwich? Would you be able to taste mayonnaise right away?
For sure.
You
I
couldn't.
can see it.
But what if someone hit it pretty good? What if it was mixed with like an aioli?
Like, I know what mayonnaise looks, smell, tastes like.
So it's a wrap.
Ain't eating it.
Do you like sweet potatoes or mashed potatoes?
Either or.
I'm not a big sweet potato.
Are
Do
you
you like marshmallows on your sweet potatoes?
Are you a chitlins person or a pig feet person?
What?
Is
A
that
what
a
now?
South thing?
What did you just say?
Do you know what chitlins is? Chitterlings?
No. We eat turkey where I'm from. What the hell are you talking about?
So you never heard of chitlins before?
No.
Or pig feet?
You eat pig feet.
No, I'm asking. You never heard
No.
of neither.
I've heard them, but I don't put them on my Thanksgiving plate.
Oh, you know. So you heard of chitlins before,
That one I haven't heard of.
but you heard of pig feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's on your Thanksgiving plate? Give us a little bit of a rundown real quick.
You got the cranberry sauce.
Okay. Classic.
We got custard.
A
Well,
what?
you don't know what custard is, so we call like pecan pie.
Oh, okay. Great. Love it.
You got chillins. You got,
Explain those again.
I'm not explaining.
Okay.
You gotta look at it.
I'll look them up. All right. Perfect. Sorry.
You got the rice and gravy. You got the turkey. You got the ham with the pineapples.
Yeah, that's good.
Mac and cheese.
No stuffing?
We call it dressing.
Okay. I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Some people call it dressing where I'm from. Mostly stuffing.
Mostly dressing where I'm from, but
Okay.
cool.
What about collard greens? I love collard
I
greens.
can
That might
do
be my
without
hot
them,
take.
but I would eat. I would eat them, but I can do without them.
Collard greens, and I also like to bite into a raw green onion with every bite on my plate.
No. You a little different.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm born and raised in Colorado, right?
Yeah, I don't know if Colorado really has much culture. You just kind of do whatever.
See, wow, you just downgrading your home.
Have you been to Denver?
I have played there twice.
Yeah, but you got to like roam out there. And you'll
Can't
know
breathe.
exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, I understand that completely. The altitude's different. Well, Deebo, happy Thanksgiving to
Happy
you
Thanksgiving to you
and
too.
your family.
And your family and your mom.
Thank you. My mom is here. She got to meet Deebo. She's very excited. But happy Thanksgiving to you. I hope you enjoy a day of just food and football, but not playing, watching.
Right.
And, of course, wishing you and the 49ers the best this upcoming weekend. And then, like I said, guys, win or lose, 1, I will make him laugh. That's always my goal. But 2, I will always be here every Tuesday bothering him no matter what.
See if I get to bother you next week. Broncos game Monday night.
Anyway.
You get to make me a little list.
Yeah, he's going to come up with questions next week. So be prepared for that. But we will be back next week after Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all.
Happy Thanksgiving to all y'all.
Has been another episode of Cleats and Convos with Deebo Samuel presented by State Farm.
Like a good neighbor. State Farm is there.
Booyah. Happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you next week.
Catch you next week.
Bye.